for talking to me. So my name is Stella Oneko and I'm from DW. Am I speaking to Robert Chagulani?
That's right.
Okay, how are you? What is your situation at the moment?
Well, I am in hiding, following a raid at my house by the military, commanded by the Chief of Defense Forces, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, who happens to be Museveni's son, the guy that I ran against in last week's election, and strongly believe we beat him. But, because there's lawlessness, because the ruling family does what they want, now we got information that they were coming to harm me, and the father went ahead to confirm it, that they were looking for me to harm me, and I had no option but to disappear because I could not get safety from anywhere, not any institution in Uganda.
And have you heard from your family? How's your family doing?
I've heard from my family. My family are there. Of course, they are not safe. They are surrounded. My wife and my family are under house arrest. Nobody's allowed to get out of the house. Nobody's allowed to come in. They are short of food supplies, but the food supplies that have been delivered to them have been rejected by the army that is there. And that's the situation.
We heard that in another interview you gave that you are not that you're not going to try and legally fight against these election results. Why is that?
We don't trust the courts in Uganda. The courts in Uganda are all serving the system. They're all serving the regime. Just today, as we speak, a new Chief Justice has just been appointed by Museveni. Today, now he's appointing a new Chief Justice to adjudicate a case where he is petitioned against. And the courts in Uganda have been part of the decay for a long time, to the extent that the recent election of 2021, the Chief Justice demonstrated bias, but also even a few times when the courts in Uganda have ordered for reforms, electoral reforms, the military regime has always flatly rejected them. So we see no hope and we have no confidence in the court system. Our confidence is in the people of Uganda, and we've called upon the people of Uganda to defy the regime, to practice all manner of protests, including civil disobedience, for as long as it's not violent and it's legal.
I know you can probably not reveal any of your plans because it might not be safe for you.
Well, but we made it very clear throughout our campaigns that we are handing over responsibility to every Ugandan. When I was campaigning, I told the people of Uganda not to hold my placard or my portrait, but to hold the national flag, so that each one of us has an equal responsibility in the liberation of this country.
Okay, so it's basically up to the people of Uganda, but right now from what we were also there covering elections, and from what we've seen, there's quite heavy security everywhere. So it is also a lot to ask from people of Uganda, right? To go out and hold the flag.
Absolutely. It is so much in Uganda to ask a Ugandan to hold the national flag proudly. That should be shocking to the free world. It should be shocking.
Go out and hold the flag.
Absolutely. It is so much in Uganda to ask a Ugandan to hold the national flag proudly. That should be shocking to the free world. It should be shocking to see that it is dangerous for a citizen of Uganda to hold a national flag. You've seen the military and police arresting people and beating them up for having a national flag. Unfortunately, the situation where we are calls for so much. We have to give so much.
And your personal situation, you are in hiding. Do you plan to stay in hiding indefinitely, or?
No. I'm not going to stay in hiding. I'll come out when I decide. I stayed in hiding because if I stayed at my place, I would not be able to do this interview. The internet at my house is jammed and the network is cut off. My wife can only make maybe up to a few calls a day, painstakingly. So I'm out of my home in order to be able to speak to the world and to give guidance where I can give guidance, and also to defy the illegal house arrest, to show the regime in Uganda that I can beat them at their game and run away from them even when they deploy hundreds of military.
That man has ruled Uganda for 40 years. He's in charge of the army, the military, the security services. His son is literally the army chief of the country, and he's claiming the opposition rigged, which is, it beggars belief for a lot of people watching that. His government shut down the internet 2 days ago, ostensibly to avoid the spread of fake news, any chances of vote fraud, as well as any incitement or calls to violence. And that is the backdrop that the election is happening, where the opposition is already claiming that there's massive ballot stuffing happening and they don't expect the outcome to be representative of the wishes of the people of Uganda, Biana.
Yeah, 81 years old, making him more than double the age the average Ugandan. Incredibly stunning, quite stunning indeed.
We hold our general elections in Uganda. The world should be reminded that we are holding elections in the dark. The internet has been switched off across the country. This is done in order to facilitate the intended rigging of the regime.
So let's get the very latest from CNN's Larry Madowo in neighboring Kenya. The votes are still being counted, but I don't think anyone's holding their breath in terms of what the official result is expected to be. Larry.
That's right, Biana. President Yoweri Museveni is expected to win this election, but Bobiwine said today on election day that they are winning this vote, but the security forces, the military and the army will rig the vote in favor of President Yoweri Museveni, which is an interesting point because President Museveni claims that in the last election in 2021, he actually was the victim of vote rigging, that the opposition, Bobiwine, essentially ballot stuffed. And that's why he explains Uganda has a system where the votes are counted immediately after polls close at the polling station so that it eliminates cheating. But this is what Yoweri Museveni said after he voted.
We thought it would eliminate cheating. And it can, but it depends on one thing, vigilance. The agents to really be vigilant. But many times the agents are not vigilant. They are not vigilant. So still, like in the last election, opposition infiltrated 2.7 million votes. Those votes which they say opposition got were not, they never got those votes.
Mr. President wonna woli buno bakanjala bufune kubanga bubadde buba high profile peoples across the globe bangamye kutegeeze nti wonna woli mukama kingirize naye weewale nnyo abatamanya ngamba abakola ku mikutu gy'ensi yonna eminene omuli Al Jazeera, omuli BBC, CNN, Sky News n'ebirala. Bw'oba bakufunyeko chance okufunako ne bakujjako interview, please toddamu bawa chance eyo. Waki ntegezezaako nkugambye, bantegezaako kugamba nti ebitongole nga bimenya ebisinga obungi bikolebwamu abakesi ab'ekika ekyawaggulu okuli aba CIA, okuli aba M16 saako n'aba Mossad. Kati engeri nyando gyalina ssente at his own disposal basobola okusetingira omuntu najja okubuuza ebibuuzo okujjako interview ng'olwedde agwa mu kika ekyo eky'abantu nga munnamawulire byeddala nga munnamawulire naye nga mukozi wa bitongole byekugambyeko ebibeera ku mutindo gw'ensi yonna ne basobola okumanya location w'oli oba okukola ekintu ky'otasobodde kwetegekera mu budde obuliwo. So Mr. President njala kutegeeza kendeeza interview nabaani b'okommunicatinga nabo njogadde okutegeeza ekintu kino nti bannamawulire abo naddala bava ku BBC n'ebyo endala gye mutegedde CNN bannamawulire basinga obungi bakolera CIA, M16 ne Mossad n'ebitongole ebirala. So Mr. President wegendereze nnyo tebakugeza ne bakutracking kuba Museveni ayagala kumanya wawooli. So Mr. President wonna wooli njagadde kutegeeze nti zo interview y'essaawa so kozikatinge off tebayi muntu yonna akola ki akunyonyera kintu kirala kyonna ekyo kitegedde.
Okukeera nga candidate yavuganyiza mu kalulu akali legit nga tetumanyi waali ng'abamyuka be bonna baggalire ng'abantu bangi abattiddwa abataliiko accountability. Tukyalina ebyokwetegereza bingi.
Candidate bagaba bamwetagako balls. Yagambye nti agala balls.
Obudde bujja kwetooloola. Oyo omusajja alina engeri etyoboola abantu gy'akozesa. Olulimi lwe lulaga nti alabika yasinga ne Katonda amaanyi. Naye Katonda yakola kye bayita obudde. Obudde bwetooloola bannange teriyo muntu w'amaanyi mu nsi. There is no omega. There is no omega. It is only God. Kakati ogamba nti no wakatta abaterrorist 23 nti era owulira walisseeko okusingako awo. Tukyali balamu.